himself is the heir apparent to that throne of terror so long held by the likes of Voorhees, Myers, and Kruger. This man's name is...
Hi, Leslie Vernon. Guess who's coming back?
This is fantastic. I love this movie. I've been such a huge fan of it since it first came out. So to know that there's a sequel is like unbelievably exciting. So first and foremost, congratulations on the Kickstarter.
Thank
That
you.
is incredible. So what made now the right time to return to Leslie Vernon?
Dave, that's all you.
So we have been trying to do this for 20 years. You know, I mean, we Scott and I have had ideas for things we wanted to do with this character and this world all throughout. It's just been it's been a frustrating experience, to be very candid, to try to, we have had a number of iterations of the script, a number of like 5 or 6 very different versions of a sequel. And it just, the stars didn't align. I think that why now is 2 things. One, I think that Scott and I and Nathan and Angela and Aaron, like us as real people, we have evolved and grown and lived and learned in our careers some things that we needed to, because the first film was really just a metaphor for, you know, a young artist trying to do something very challenging, a career that is very questionable. It became apparent about 2 or 3 years ago that we needed to sort of bookend that metaphor, which, you know, to be very blunt, what happens at the end of a career, in the twilight of a career, when you've logged the time. So my career, Nathan's career, Scott's, Angela's, you know, Aaron is in the prime of his career. He's
Absolutely.
but for
Aaron doesn't count.
Fine.
but the metaphor has come alive. The metaphor makes sense now. And then the second thing is that 20 years is just, it's too big of a mile marker to ignore. We've teased the fans for so long, and unintentionally we've tried. But 20 years, you know, Scott and I got to a point where we're like, we have to do something. This is crazy. It's 20 years. If we don't do this now, it's over. And I think that there was an urgency, and then that urgency, the universe kind of responded to be like, okay, well, why don't you pay attention to the metaphor you started with and close that out?
That's awesome. Anybody else wanted to jump in before the next question?
Well, weren't for Aaron, who provided a catalyst, quite frankly, for us, and a sense of urgency, but a real supportive one at that. I'm not sure we'd be here, and that was 3 years ago. So,
Wow.
Aaron had a significant amount to do with us being here now. And also just being under Aaron's stewardship with respect to the way in which we're pursuing the crowdfunding campaign. I mean, we're this family. It's been 20 years now. You know how you make some of your best friends just in one summer camp, 1 year of like 8 weeks? It's the same thing. We cut our teeth in LA, and then we went off to shoot this movie, and like immediately best friends, right? And now there's one more band member. And that's Aaron and Cam and Paper Street, and they've been incredibly helpful in getting this going.
Aaron's pretty cool, I guess.
Shannon, I love you, Shannon. Thank you. Shannon and I go way back, and she's
Way
been
back.
such a massive advocate for everything that we've done at Paper Street, and is also just a wonderful voice in horror and someone I greatly respect. And so, Shannon, thank you it's an honor to get to talk with you again with this. And look, I'm just a fan. They made something magical, and I'm like, guys, please, please, please can I play bass in your band? Can I do something?
You're the drummer.
Whatever.
Our last drummer exploded.
Not the Spinal Tap drummer.
No, we needed a new drummer. We got to have a backbeat.
More
I'll do
cowbell.
anything.
More cowbell, Aaron.
More cowbell.
Yeah, so I'm just a fan.
Nathan and Angela, how do you feel about returning to this Leslie Vernon universe? And are there specific things you're hoping to see with your characters this time?
Yeah, very excited, and everything that I want to say is already in the script. It's there, so I just got to get my mouth around the words. But what I'm looking forward to most is, like I said, getting the band back together. I mean, we had the funnest time making the hardest movie. And I'm looking forward to striving again with this group, and we've added on some fantastic teammates along the way. And so yeah, the machinery's going, and I'm smelling the oil and the exhaust, and it's getting heady and exciting. I can't wait to get on location.
I echo everything that Nathan said, and I'll also add, like, it kind of goes back to the first question too, that Stevie was responding to, and Scotty, like, over these last 20 years to have kind of seen versions of a sequel, um, totally different. David, threw his whole heart into each and every one, and each and every one was so different, and so fully what it was. And so to have all of that and now be able to come together on this one, everything feels right and is right. And we have 20 years of, like, all these versions kind of as an undercurrent, bubbling under the surface to inform the work that we get to do.
That's so exciting. What's the core vision of Behind the Mask 2 at this early stage? Are you aiming to echo the original tone or kind of take it in a new direction?
Well, without giving anything away at all whatsoever, back in the aughts, I mean, this is a novelization of one of the very earliest drafts of a script that
Oh,
David
that's
wrote,
so cool.
and it was really on the surface about deconstructing the conventions and archetypes of a horror sequel, of a horror remake, of a prequel, or what have you. And I'll let Dave pontificate about where we all have come from, have been as people. But I think we are looking to. It's interesting, Angela. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks, and this is our first interview where you've just jumped on the Zoom. But Dave talks a lot about whose film is this? Is this in fact a feminist film? Is this about the survivor girl? And there are so many different levels to hit in this movie. I will say one of them is I'm looking to put to bed the endless conversation about whether it's a final girl or a survivor girl. The final girl is a result. It's an outcome. The survivor girl is a life after. And for 20 years, how does someone survive? Cancer survivor, a survivor of domestic abuse, a survivor of a terrorist attack. And where have these characters? Where have we as people, and where have these characters lived over the last 2 decades? Lived with this incident, and there's a ton of substance in there beyond deconstructing the conventions and archetypes of where the horror sequel in the horror genre has been.
I would add that I think that a huge driving force in what we're trying to do with this one, 20 years later, is we obviously have Scotty and I have a great love for 80s horror. I mean, it's oozing out of everything. I just had a thing occur to me earlier. I mentioned that, Scott often says that the first film is a love letter to the slasher genre. I feel like what's emerging here is that this sequel is going to be our wedding vows to the slasher genre. We've had 20 years of living with them. We've watched how the genre has evolved. Scott's always pushing me very, very hard to, like, well, what's happening in the genre? And then my job is to say, okay, I get it. Now, how does that affect Leslie in Leslie's universe? For the genre, how does Leslie see the changing of the genres? How does he see what his contemporaries, who maybe they've quote unquote retired or they've moved on, or some that are up and coming stars, like what are they doing? And how will Leslie in his universe adapt his performance and what he feels he needs to do? So it's art imitating life, imitating art. And it goes back to the metaphor I talked about at the beginning of, like, our real lives as artists, as creatives. How is that reflected in Leslie and Taylor's lives? What's Taylor been doing as a survivor girl? And 100% on echoing what Scott said, it's survivor girl, and that's the term. So I think it's a combination of both of those things. How do we push our deconstruction of the genre and what's happened in 20 years? And then how do we fold that into how we present that in a fictitious world of Leslie and Taylor.
Absolutely. And for Nathan, how does it feel to be putting back that mask after so long?
It never went away.
Oh, okay.
That's how that's how you do it, is you
Yeah.
just always be that, right? Yeah, I've been working. No, look, I gotta see this face every day when I look in the mirror, and,
Yeah.
these are the stories that we tell ourselves to get by.
That's
I'm,
right.
looking forward to it. I'm excited to get back into it. It's never been a dark thing for me. Yeah, it's a slasher, but, it's never been anything, to be dour over. It's always been something, that is a delight. I'm delighted to be doing what I'm doing. I'm really proud of the work that I put into this, and I'm really excited about what the results of the work are going to lead to. That's how I am in life, and that's how Leslie is in this project. So it's always been a really fantastically symbiotic relationship between me and Leslie, and we'll just keep it like that for a
I
little
can't
while
wait to
longer.
see how you escaped the apple crusher. I'm very excited for that. Is there like a single element from the original that you're determined to preserve for this film?
Yeah, this T-shirt, there it is. There's my moment. Yep, that's my new favorite. That's my second favorite line from the film, and I love that I have a T-shirt with Angela's face on it right now.
I kind of
Funny,
love
not
it a little
funny,
bit.
but yeah, it's all Angela. I can't wait to stand next to her and to put my arms around her and, to have that, love that we get to have in real life, to have that on screen. I fell in love with her 20 years ago, and to get a chance to, fall back in love all these years later is, a really incredible opportunity that very few actors get a chance to have. So, it's a lot of gratitude and a lot of excitement.
It's a beautiful love story. Were you gonna say something, Angela?
I mean, no, I'm just sort of basking in that. No, I'm good.
My last question is for those that want to stay updated and continue supporting the project outside of Kickstarter, what would you tell fans? How can they become more involved?
Aaron, you want to take that?
Yeah. I mean, so there is a Discord that people can jump in. There's a link there that anybody can just jump in and chat with us. There'll be a private version of the Discord that's for like the backers. But listen, just sharing it, talking about the movie, commenting on the post, all this is helping us get. We need to evangelize, if you will, Leslie Vernon, and we need to get that out to the world. And the more that we can, it's no different than as a kid when I was tape trading and be like, hey, watch Evil Dead 2 on tape, and then years later it became now watch Behind the Mask on DVD. And now I want people to continue to do that, because that discovery is what's so great about the horror genre. And I think, and like wanting to share it with our friends and like, have you seen this? And then and I think, as you know, Shannon, like I'm the person who's like, "Oh, you don't like horror? Like, I think you do." Do you like Jurassic Park? Do you like Jaws? Because
Yep.
these are horror films. And I think, and I love the idea of getting people into that, and understanding that we want to bring you along with us, along the ride with us. And I think and there's like a $25 tier and some stuff like that and some things. And there's stuff to kind of get involved, but there'll be more engagement even beyond the Kickstarter later too. Like this is going to be a thing that through Scott has this amazing company now that helps with indie distribution. And so we're going to go direct to everyone and give opportunities to bring the movie to their hometown and all kinds of stuff. Like we really want to make this such a communal affair, and I'm very excited for that. So there's all kinds of opportunities now and later. But for now, just comment, say, have you seen it? Share their DVD, their Blu-ray, and go from there. It'd be great.
I shared my Blu-ray and I have not gotten it back, and I'm very upset about it. Like, it's been years, so I'm gonna have to, like, re-purchase it 'cause I don't
Don't
talk
be
to that
that guy.
person.
Don't be that guy, friends.
Uh,
Give the DVD back.
yeah.
Thank you all so much for speaking with me. I truly, truly love this movie, like, genuinely love this movie, so I'm so excited to see the sequel come to life. So, congratulations, and hopefully we'll all talk again in the future.
Thank you,
For
Shannon.
sure. Thank
Anytime,
you so
Shannon.
much.
Of
What a
course.
pleasure.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching, and thank you to our sponsors and Patreon producers for making this video possible. Hit the subscribe button so the creepy fun never has to end. This is Hannah reminding you to keep it creepy.